Seva was started by Larry and Deirdre Brilliant, and he was a doctor who was with the WHO in India.
Maharaji told me that my job was to work and try to alleviate smallpox and other kinds of suffering, and that this was a kind of yoga, but it was niche karma yoga. That's the yoga of union with God by working in the world without attachment to the results. It's the yoga of the Bhagavad Gita, and it's maybe they're all hard, but it's hard for me because you work and try to do good things without being attached to or claiming the results and fruits and rewards of doing them.
They had a coterie of people who wanted to do service and wanted to heal people.
So George and I called everybody on our Rolodex and asked them to come and join and start the Seva Foundation. But our Rolodex was pretty strange, and Ram Dass and Wavy Gravy were on that Rolodex, as was a lot of other people who had worked for the UN and people from academia, from the counterculture, the spiritual traditions. And we all gathered together in Michigan 20-some-odd years ago, and that was the founding meeting of the Seva Foundation. The name Seva has always meant to me divine work, working to help others, selfless service. But we didn't know what to do. I originally wanted to take on diarrhea because it was the worst killer of children in those days. You won't put this on your TV show, but Wavy wanted us to do a benefit to eradicate diarrhea, which of course he wanted to call no shit.
And if you don't have a sense of humor, it just isn't funny anymore.
My boss from the WHO, Nicole Grasset, she had become particularly impassioned about blindness. We had a chance to see lots of blindness in India, and she felt that we could create an effort to eradicate blindness.
I discovered that 80% of the people in the world that are blind don't need to be, and 80% of them can get their sight back for about, in those days, $5 an eyeball. This was some shattering set of numbers to me.
In Seva, we talked about how you invest a serving act with healing properties.
Ram Dass is a very important figure for so many people who are around him, including myself. But I think primarily for me because he is so honest and he is unflinching in his pursuit of truth. I saw that in experiences we had in the Seva Foundation. He felt that spiritual truth was the most important thing we could work on, and he didn't spare himself either. He sort of looking at what he was doing and examining every act, and could it be better? Why am I really doing these things?
Ram Dass got very involved, more involved than almost anybody. At one point, he was more involved than anybody. He was certainly our ultimate fundraiser. Whenever Seva would run out of money, Ram Dass would say, almost like boxer in Animal Farm, I will work harder. And he would go on another tour, another 40-city tour, and the money would go to Seva.
I had this vision with doctors, nurses, janitors. They're all wanting to do it for God. Their God is in each bed.